Welcome to Voices of Experience, a podcast where we explore the lives and careers of remarkable individuals. I am Pranika Moore, and I'm honored to have with me Captain Sikka, a former Air Force pilot, as well as one who served as a government and commercial flight pilot. He also later went on to train future pilots. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, Pradika, thank you very much for saying good words, and I congratulate you that this is your first podcast, and I wish you many, many more with more legends who have earned a very good name for themselves and for the country and for the profession. So, on that, shoot out what are your questions you want to know about it.
Okay, thank you so much. So, was becoming a pilot your childhood dream, or was it something that you pursued later on?
Well, I come from a family of defense. We family have been on defense for more than 110 years. Where mostly people have been in police or in army. So I chose to be a little different.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
the first person to go in Indian Air Force, and that is how I learned my flying. Basically, I went to college where I could learn flying through the NCC, and then there was career progression in aviation. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's remarkable. How was your first solo flight like?
Oh, well, first solo flight you never forget. My first solo was in Tiger Moth aircraft. It is a biplane made by the Britishers for the training aircraft, fully aerobatic, made out of partially wood and fiber. And
Oh,
it
wow.
was 18th March 1961 when I went first solo. So I will never forget. And it was at Indore Flying Club, and thereafter I joined Indian Air Force. But it is a very, very different feeling when the cockpit is open and the wind is blowing all over you, and you feel everything is below you. There was a big lake, there was the cars passing, and that's the time you're coming in for landing. And of course, you're asking how was my first solo. There was a it never happened before. Coming for first landing, there is a dog crossing the runway. So I went wrong.
Oh,
And that was never taught to me that how to go wrong. There's a different exercise. So everybody was in emergency mode. But I went back again, and by that time they shooed away the dog. So that is my first experience of landing of
oh.
solo. Yeah, go ahead.
That's fascinating. I love being on planes, but I can't imagine how it would feel like flying one. How did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it is not the first time. And when I went to the Indian Air Force in Jodhpur, there also I was in a first solo on HT2, Hindustan Trainer 2, and I took off and I coming into land, and they fired the red cottage, go round.
Oh,
That time I had an RT, and they said, okay, there was a dog on the runway. So this is a very, very strange incident that both the first solos, there was a dog on the runway.
yeah.
Let me tell you, I like dogs, but some of dogs don't like me. So
And maybe it's not best to have one on the runway.
that's right. Yeah, okay. Then,
How did it feel like being selected as a valuable member of the Air Force?
valuable member of Indian Air Force?
Yeah.
Well, it is a selection process. I'm not the only one. There are hundreds of people get selected. Every batch, every batch is of 6 months. And out of thousands of people apply, they have to go through UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. You have to pass the written exam. Then there are interviews. Then the medical tests. So in my batch, I remember out of a couple of thousand, which I don't know, 150 people joined Indian Air Force in Jodhpur, but only 75 made the polish. 75 people could not make the grade in basic stage, intermediate stage, or advanced stage. because it is a question of aptitude and rest of the things.
Yeah.
So, so it is not me alone. Many people go there, and many people have got that fate.
Yeah, still that seems like a really tedious process to go through the selection and keep on trying. So what qualities do you think you had that helped you to succeed?
Well, it is basically ambition, and then how you go about it. Like for any profession, if you have any profession or aim in your life to become, then you have to zero it on and work for it. And it is very, mostly it is successful. Aviation is basically, there are so many external forces come out there where you have to struggle with it, but you succeed. But basically, you have an aim and then you work for it. And I got it, and I went for the flying right from the beginning, and I worked for it.
Oh wow. I heard that after your career as an Air Force pilot, your journey took some interesting turns and you later went on to serve government and commercial aircrafts.
Yes, I have had a good career. I had Indian Air Force. I'm basically a pilot flying a transport aeroplane. Then I had the privilege of flying VVIPs for long years. And then there was a shortage in Air India because they were transiting from Boeing 707 to Jumbos. There was a requirement. So Government of India, Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Civil Aviation, there was an agreement. So some of us were seconded to Ministry of Civil Aviation, which was Air India. But that was a good lucky break for me.
Yeah.
That's a very lucky break. I happened to fly big commercial aeroplanes and happened to see the world all over on the expense of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How different is a commercial aircraft from one of the Air Force?
Well, the flying technique is the same of flying an aeroplane, but in the Air Force, you fly in all sorts of terrain, places you have never been,
Oh.
and it is to the maintenance of troops in forward areas, and the aeroplanes are basically cargo aeroplanes or the fighter aeroplanes or the bomber aeroplane. Commercial aeroplanes are very much civilized. They are latest and they got all sorts of comfort, and they go to touch places most of the way or Indians are settled or wherever the tourists want to go, like places like Mauritius, Seychelles, and things like that. Otherwise, there's a normal Indians are all over the world. So under JRD Tata, when I joined Air India, we used to go a lot of places in Europe, North America, Japan, Australia, and Africa.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And how do you think aviation technology has changed throughout the years as you served as a pilot?
Well, aviation scenario has changed dramatically. If you asking this question, I will tell you there is so much of changes, so much of automation in aviation has come, which is a mind-boggling. You take engines. Now, engines are much more powerful. Engines are much more quieter. Engines are more fuel efficient. Can you imagine an engine producing more than 100,000 horsepower? Colossal engine, a diameter of something about 12 feet is the diameter of a jet engine.
Oh,
As compared to the other engines like which is pure jet, now they have a very high bar engine. Similarly in avionics, my God, it is a completely CRTs, cathode ray tubes, gone are those analog instruments. Communications, now we sit in a cockpit and we speak to any part of the world like you have your smartphone.
yeah.
Airframes have evaluated so much. You will see the aircraft becoming very slim. The wings are becoming so aerodynamically lift producing minimum drag. So aviation has seen phenomenal changes with advancement of testing or wind tunnels and things like that. It is mind-boggling to see that the way aviation is progressing. Now already the expertise exists of pilotless flying. You had to, even in my time, the technology was there. You just took off and engaged the autopilot and press few buttons here, there, and aircraft would land in New York on its own.
Oh wow, that's mind blowing.
The Tesla has come, isn't it? There is no required. Bullet trains have come. There is no driver required.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, the way technology is evolving, no one can keep up with it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way to track all of these changes now. And
No, we are keeping the pilot alive because otherwise a lot of passengers will not have a confidence in flying a pilotless aeroplane.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right.
What made you want to later serve on as a flight instructor?
Well, this my profession is there. Once you gain experience, then you always have the opportunity of imparting your experience to the youngsters. And there is a selection process which the companies rely on. They see whether this person has got an aptitude of imparting training, he's experienced himself quite a bit, and then they will become instructor. And then you start instructing, then you start examining people, then you start converting people. This is all based on experience and selection.
Oh, okay. And do you feel like there were any setbacks you've ever gone through, and what have you learned from them?
Setbacks.
Yeah.
There are few, like any profession, like you go from here to crowded streets, etc. You have a lot of hiccups are there. There are a few flying, like weather related. Sometimes you may not be able to land at place. Then you divert to some other places, and then there also there may be a lot of congestion. You're running out of a fuel, and then you're finding your number landing. Or sometimes when you have some problem with your engines or airframe or emergencies or passenger emergencies itself. So that is in my long career, I have my little bit of share of these setbacks, but then we are trained to get over it. Otherwise, every person feels a little bit of concern, but as a pilot, you feel it, but you keep it to yourself. You cannot show it. Otherwise, you have other crew members, they will become very nervous. So, as per the training as a commander, you are taught that do not show. You have your anxieties, etc.
Yeah.
That's right.
So as I said, the pilot is the captain of the ship. So everything goes as long as they also believe in it.
Okay.
And what advice would you give future generations who would want to become an aspiring pilot, just like how successful you have been?
Well, to give you a very short answer, if I have another life to go through it, I'll become a pilot again. Yeah, it has got a charm of its soul. Where can you see a word and all the expense fly such a beautiful machines? No, I tell you, you have a smartphone. Would you like to go back to the rotary phone? No, isn't
No.
it? Okay, you have a coming Mercedes, BMWs, Ferraris. Would you like to go and drive your old Fiat or Ambassador? No.
No.
The way it is advancing, I would like to feel the new aeroplanes once again. Because, you know something? Airbus is coming with 350, which is going to fly from Singapore to New York JFK 22 hours non-stop flight on two engines. So technology has advanced so much, they know it. Even if there is a problem with one engine will take you safely to the nearest suitable airfield. So there is a reliability and there is a demand. So it's a supply and demand. So I would and I would tell you to make a pilot because in India there are 15-16% pilots are girls, ladies, highest in the world. So it is a beautiful future.
Yeah,
you have to have a medically fit and your aptitude, best of luck.
That's remarkable. And nowadays, the crashing rate of the planes have reduced by threshold. And what do you feel like was the most memorable flight of your journey?
But there have been quite a few memorable flights. It is very difficult to point it out offhand. But like first solo is always memorable. You never forget your first solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the flight. And then maybe when I became a pilot of a big birds, big aeroplanes, flying all alone, then I'm coming to civil aviation, flying Boeing 707, four-engine aeroplane, going abroad. And then I converted into the Airbus 310, which was the first modern aircraft to be fitted with the CRTs, etc., fly-by-wire, then flying big jumbos, and then the 400, which is the biggest aeroplane of its time. So I had a plenty of memorable flights, landing at the fag end of it, landing in New York, JFK, or very busy airfields like Chicago or something like that. I had plenty of memorable flights which I can count, that will take away a lot of time.
Yeah. I absolutely love traveling on planes, but I cannot imagine how it feels like flying one myself. And you get to travel the world on your own basis. And after thousands of hours in the air, how do you feel like you have learned more about life on the ground?
You always learn in each and every profession, and if aviation is no different. So aviation is flying is let me tell you, is quite a disciplined way of a profession. You cannot take chances with the aeroplane. You cannot take chances with the weather, because nowadays the airfields are becoming so congested, because sometime on the same runway, one aircraft is just about half a minute ahead of you, and there is one aircraft behind you half a minute. So you got to fly at the same speed, same thing, and then clear off. So it is becoming a discipline, professionalism. So it's all combined.
Oh.
And imagine if you are flying, say, after 17 hours, 17. See, you're flown from India, you're going to landing in San Francisco after 16, 17 hours. The time zone changes. You are tired. Your body is absolutely fagging. But then you land at San Francisco, heavy traffic. So you have to have your wits around and your mental response allow. So
Yeah.
it comes with a discipline. That's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for joining us today, Captain Sikka. Your journey is truly inspiring, and I'm so glad to have learned so much more about this. I now know how resilience plays a vital role in all sorts of careers, and how technology has indeed evolved, and also how we can also take this up. Like, I never knew how much we have to put our mind and effort into this for a greater result.
Thank you very much, and all the very best in your future.